Howdy hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my July film TV reviews, so my wrap up of all the things that I watched that's worth noting during the month of July. So I think I watched about 7 things. I really kind of took it upon myself to sit down and watch films of my own, because I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I really hate watching films of my own. I think it's because I lack the attention span of sitting down and just, you know, on my own with no distractions and just sitting through a film and just watching the whole thing. I feel like I'm much better with TV shows because they're a shorter period of time and I can just stop, you know, after 40 minutes is up if I want to, whereas with a film I'm putting more effort in. But yeah, I thought I'd just mention that to you guys. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the amount of films I watched on my own last month. So the first thing I decided to watch was Lowell. I believe this came out in 2012. It's featuring Miley Cyrus as our main character, Lowell. She's called Lola. But there are other recognisable characters, but I'm just really crap with actors' names. So basically this is just about Lola, who breaks up with her dick of a boyfriend and finds romance in her music lover of a best friend. So when this first came out I was interested in checking it out, but it was just one of those summery kind of films that I wasn't in the mood for at the time. But when I did decide to watch it, I was definitely in the mood for something casual and light-hearted and something that I didn't necessarily need to put too much, you know, thought into. Basically I just wanted this as a summer fix and I pretty much got that. I will say it was pretty cringy. I ended up giving it a 2 stars. I didn't think too much of the acting. It was just a little bit awkward and kind of stunted in how the characters communicated with each other. Scenes I found didn't flow very well. They were kind of just like slapdash next to each other and just seemed completely unrelated to the last scene that was on. And I felt like the main story just felt like that in general. I think my voice is going. Bear with, I just need to get a drink. Okay, I'm back. I've replenished the mind, I've replenished my throat, I've replenished the soul. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Oh! And I don't know what happened there. Everything just went slippy sliding. I'm in a weird mood today, guys. I don't know why. Anyway, back to the film Lowell. Got something on my lip. Okay, ignore that. Anyway, as I was saying, I just found it a bit meh, to be honest, and I'm glad I didn't pay out to go see it at the cinema. It would have been a disappointing watch if I went out to the cinema and spent that money on it. Onto something very random, something I didn't think I'd ever heard of if it wasn't for my friend. This is called Cold Comfort Farm, which I gave a 3.5 stars. Starring my bae, Rufus Sewell. I never know how to pronounce his name. He's in Victoria, you know, the ITV3 periodic drama piece. He's the Prime Minister Melbourne. Yeah, since then I've been like but actually I think I might have seen him in The Man in the High Castle first. But yeah, he's awesome, and me and my friend both like crushing super hard on him. Yeah, this film definitely looked like an all-star kind of cast. They had Stephen Fry, they had Ian McKellen, Joanna Lumley, and I'm sure some other actors that I just didn't recognise, but it did seem like an all-star cast. And it seemed like it was quite an early film for a lot of them to be in, so maybe this is one of their, you know, let's take everything just to be in film, I guess. Do you know what I mean? A very posh orphaned girl who wants to be an author moves in with her relatives that are living on this like poor family farm. Apparently the owner of the farm did a great wrong to the orphan girl's father. You know, can't really make amends because her father's dead, obviously, but we spent some time trying to figure out what this great wrong is, but it's not really about that and we never really get told in the end. Honestly, it was just such a really weird film. I only watched it because my friend Maria, who's got the biggest crush on Rufus, has made it her mission to basically go through and watch all of the films that he's ever been in, and yeah, this was one of them, and basically she just took it with us because we went to Bournemouth for a couple of nights, and yeah, so that was one of the things we watched. It's a really weird film. I will say I did quite enjoy it. It was funny, but it was just so strange. Yeah, that got a 3.5 stars from me. So one of the films that I took with me, and the only one we watched out of my collection because it was shorter time than we expected it to be honest, was The Fox and the Child. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that with my lights, but yeah, The Fox and the Child. But I gave this a 4.5 stars. I really feel like I've reviewed this before, but it must have been ages ago, so I'm just going to like quickly briefly go over my thoughts about it. I would actually class this as one of my favourite films. There's just something captivated about it. It's just it's magical. It feels so awesome. I don't know. It's basically a French film. It's like dubbed in English and narrated by Kate Winslet, about a little girl who befriends a fox out in, like, I don't know why I said that so well, a fox. Okay, a little girl who befriends a fox out in like the wilderness around her house. It is a quieter, sweet film with a few little peaks that make you wonder how things are going to turn out in the end. Everything about it is just so beautiful. The narration, the scenery, just the simpleness of it all, the friendship between the child and the fox, everything is just so, I don't know, it just makes you feel good inside. The only reason I can't give this a full 5 stars is because of, sorry, some stuff is going to drop off my lap, is because I don't agree with some of the choices that the little girl makes within the story, and her personality sometimes leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I mean, it does make sense for why she's acting that way, because it is, you know, she's a child, so she's acting childish in some scenes. But I don't know, it just upsets me because, you know, especially concerning animals, it just, I don't know, I'm more protective of animals rather than children, if that makes sense, and some of the things that she does upsets me in that retrospect. So yeah, I would totally recommend this if you like sort of, not necessarily wildlife, well, yeah, I guess it would be wildlife, but not in a documentary sense, even though Maria, I'm pretty sure she felt like it did feel almost documentary-esque, but I don't know, it's just got wildlife, friendship, morals, it's live action, it's beautiful, really beautiful. If you have even the slightest interest, please check it out because it is a great film and I totally recommend it. Next up, something I forgot that I had in my collection and I don't think I'd actually watched my own DVD of it before. Mean Girls. I ended up giving this a full 5 stars. I think a lot of people know what this is about, but I hadn't seen it in such a long time, so I'll just briefly go over the synopsis. Caddy and her parents move from Africa, where they're zoologists over there, and come back to what I assume is America. So Caddy has to spend her first time in like a real high school and faces the hatred and, you know, the judgment of dun dun dun, the mean girls. I know, it's so dramatic. Because I only think I've watched this like one time before, I've never really appreciated the references like on Wednesdays we wear pink, you can't sit with us, you go Glen Coco. I never appreciated any of those until I watched it again properly and, you know, could truly relate what those random phrases were about. Honestly, I really loved this. It was so hilarious. It's pretty relatable as well, I think, if you've ever been a teenager of some sort. I think everyone's been a teenager. You know, you're gonna find some things that are relatable to you, and I actually think it had a good moral behind it. I know it's all humour and it's all like bitchiness and everything, but behind it there is quite, you know, a good message surrounding these mean girls and high school life and, you know, growing up. This was one of the films that I was actually deciding whether or not to keep, because I was hoping to clear out some of my DVD collection. So, as I said, I don't really like watching films on my own, and why have I got so many if I don't really watch them, you know? But I think I'm gonna have to hang on to this because I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's Mean Girls. Got my little collection, my little imagery going on behind me. Yeah, it's probably not gonna work out. Everything's probably gonna just tumble down. Okay, and so last for films, I decided to watch Penelope, which I gave a 4 stars. I do believe this is another kind of like all-star cast. There's like James McAvoy, Christina Ricci, Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, there's a lot of different people that I recognise, you know. So this is a modern fairy tale about a girl called Penelope who was cursed with the nose of a pig. Lovely. Penelope is hidden away from the outside world and is sent through suitors to hopefully, you know, break the spell with, you know, true love's kiss or whatever. But the suitors can't see her. She's behind like a sort of police investigation screen, you know, where you can look out but they can't see in. She's behind one of those, and basically she's supposed to get to know them. They're supposed to fall in love with her personality before she reveals herself and shows what she truly looks like, in the hopes that someone will accept her, which is quite sad when you think about it. I actually forgot Peter Dinklage was in this. He's Tyrion Lannister in the Game of Thrones, and yeah, he was really cool. I think he's actually American, so he had his American accent, and it was just so weird to hear him with that. And also there was a few British people in here, like James McAvoy, but he was putting on an American accent, and everybody was like switching up their accents, and it was so bizarre. It's fun to see Peter in a less serious role, you know, that is Game of Thrones, so it was fun to see him in something more light-hearted and family friendly sort of thing. The main character really looks to me like Jenna Coleman. I don't know why, but that's just on my mind, and I kind of wanted to bring that to light, even though that's really nothing to do with the film. Anyway, it is a beautiful film with a wonderful cast and an even better storyline. I think I'll always enjoy this film just because of its sweetness, and it's almost got like an innocent vibe to it, and it's just adorable. I'm a sucker for fairy tales, and the fact that this is a modernised one done well, yeah, I just can't get over that. So I totally recommend this to you as well. I'm not sure what year it came out in. I think it might have been 2008 or something. Oh no, 2006. This repackaging was 2008, and when they repackaged this, they started saying if you like Enchanted, and I was like, but I swear Enchanted came out after this. But yeah, they was just like promoting it that way because I think Enchanted probably did better than this. Why did I just spew all that geeky logic? I don't know why. Do you care? I don't know. I probably don't even care, but yeah, let's move on. Okay, and the last thing is more of a serious thing that I watched, and it was Is It Safe to Be Gay in the UK? I gave this a 5 stars. BBC Two was highlighting the LGBTQ plus community to promote awareness for what I think is the rise in hate crime and prejudice set against them. Honestly, this documentary was so heartbreaking, but I think it helped bring to light the severity of the violence that is inflicted on such an innocent community. Like, they've not done anything wrong except love who they want to love, you know, which, you know, everyone should be allowed to do. But yeah, I'd recommend giving this a watch because it's really serious. You get to hear stories from victims of abuse. You get to hear stories of from the loved ones, you know, point of view of what happened. Yeah, it's really heartbreaking, but you know, spreading the awareness and stuff like that, you need to watch it, sort of thing. But yeah, that's all that I watched during July. Let me know what you've been watching, if you've caught any new films, any you might recommend to me, and I'll speak to you in another video soon. Bye!